Cheers to everyone for watching. My name is Mitchell of the Stereo Picture Society. This is a channel where I review Canadian albums, and today I'm going to be reviewing Kavara's new album, Weathered and Lost. Kavara are a 5-piece melodic death metal outfit from London, Ontario. They're fronted by a friend of mine from back in London, Serena Dorton. And given that they've been touring for the last 3 years, they've put out a couple of EPs from the middle of the 2010s. They've vastly grown in their vocal performance, their writing, as well as their production. And we see all of that on full display on Weathered and Lost. But what I found attractive to this debut album is the sense of melody and composition from the band, as well as the consistency in Serena's growling and vocal fries. Everything on this album is well executed, well performed, and I give a big shout out and hats off to her. I found that the album single Scarecrow showcase Serena's fry screams and growls the best. They're tastefully placed and double-tracked within the mix, and I thought it was pretty fun. This song also showcased some nice guitar soloing and tapping. This is melodic death metal after all, so go into this album with the mindset of even distribution of vocals and guitars. Some standout tracks for the guitar for me are the songs Death Sentence, which is full of riffs and solos, and also the song Long Care, with this cavernous guitar lead that opens it that reminds me of Dimmu Borgir. And on this track, I like how there's consistently a creative, rhythmic intent behind all the guitar riffs. It's a great representation for the guitar tracking on this album. It doesn't feel generic and uninspired in the least, though some tracks do have the same key that the song is working in. The rhythms are still catchy and engage you in this song. And how you don't hear any extra guitar tracking on this song, and for the whole album for that matter. I think the rhythm section on this album is pretty interesting. I like the bass solos that appear on the song Death Sentence. I think they were creatively placed among the lyrics that talk about drug consumption. I like how the bass contributes to the anthemic quality of the song Bloodlust. I also feel that the drumming on Bloodlust contributes to this song being the album's primary indicator of the hardcore punk influence of death metal. The drums have a bunch of blast beat and a lot of punk ethos within it, and the hardcore punk contributes to the lyrics on this thing as the band goes political for the only time on this album, writing about conformity and resulting destruction. I like how the song The Reaper showcases Kavara's influence of alternative metal, indicative by the mid-paced tempo of the track as well as Serena's melody while she's growling in the chorus. I like how the album opens with the title track on here. It's just the minute-long opening with these playful keyboards that sound like The Nightmare Before Christmas. I thought it was funny and playful and definitely helped to set the tone of the record and help ease me as a listener into the oncoming onslaught. But what I like most about this album is actually the end. The final 2 tracks, Walk of Shame and Let the Carnage Manifest, show that Kavara can stick the landing to their record. A lot of elements on Walk of Shame show similarities to the opening track, A Mind Betwixt, but everything sounds tighter. And the closing track shows Kavara being tighter as a band as well. I get a sense of growth and self-realization and unity within these final 2 tracks. This album isn't a high-budget project. There's no symphonies or anything that come in like that. But I liked how there were some commitment to influence and genre on a few of these tracks here, and I'd like to see more of that in oncoming projects. And one of my main concerns leaving this album is, besides the last third of this album and its aforementioned tightness, I thought that the plotline and the structure of the first 2/3 just sounded the same. It was this grinding onslaught that just felt cool, but I felt like the intensity stayed at the same level throughout those 2/3. But I left the album feeling like it was difficult for me to put stock in the first half hour of the album. It was hard to sustain different messages in the lyrics as well as find the solos memorable. Hard but not impossible. It still did leave an impression on me. I'd love to see what kind of approach Kavara would take to their next album in terms of tone and its thematic structure. And yet overall, I still think this was an amazing display of composition. I think the mixing on here was really great. And I am excited to see Kavara play live in their next project. I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7 on this thing, and I'll leave it at that. If you have your own thoughts on this album or on metal as a whole, you can comment down below. Subscribe for more content, like and share my video if you're willing to like and share it. And stay tuned for more videos on the Stereo Picture Society. My name is Mitchell, and cheers again for watching. Later.